Are you ever super excited to get a new bottle and then you can bring it home, pop the cork, and it tastes just like a bottle you have on the shelf? Well, that's kind of my first reaction with this bottle, so we're gonna play a game. It's called Can You Find the Rye in the Lineup?
Which one's the rye?
Hi friends, I'm Laura.
And I'm Troy.
This is Baker Drinks. Today we're doing a blind just to see if we can tell the difference between these glasses, if we can pick out the one rye out of these. What do we have in the glasses?
Yeah, so the new Jack Daniel's single barrel proof rye, it's been hitting for the past few months around the country. We were finally able to get our hands on one thanks to Bourbon Baller Lee. And 135.9 proof, it's a monster.
It's a hot one.
We put it in a glass, and I'll be darned if it doesn't taste just like the single barrel proof Tennessee whiskey.
Yeah, which we love. We have several of them. As you can see, this is a flight of 4 because we have 3 open single barrel proofs, and then the single barrel proof rye. That is a mouthful. That is really hard to say. I see why people say SBBP.
So for the purposes of this video, we'll just say barrel proof rye.
Yeah, we'll just say rye and Tennessee whiskey. How's that?
I like it.
Okay, so these are all Jack Daniels. They're all very high proof. Actually, I think the lowest one's like 129, but from my memory, it does not drink the lowest proof. So I don't think we'll be able to tell which one's low proof, which one's high proof, and we're just seeing if we can tell the difference and pick the rye out.
Yeah, and don't hear what we're not saying. I mean, we're not saying we don't like the rye. It's fantastic. It's just very similar to the Tennessee whiskey, and it may just be the proof. I don't know.
Might be the proof. It might be like their yeast gives it a lot more flavor than the actual mash bill, because I looked it up and I'm pretty sure the mash bill is a 70% rye. So it's not like it's a barely legal rye and a high rye mash bill for the Tennessee whiskey. I don't know why I couldn't tell the difference, but we only tried it once. So it could have just been our first pour. We're just gonna try it out, see if we can find it on camera, maybe embarrass ourselves. I don't know.
Yeah, let's have some fun. You starting on the right?
I'll start with this one.
Our right.
Well, it smells fantastic.
Yeah.
Could be the rye.
Could be the Tennessee whiskey.
I don't know. I'm going in for a taste.
Yeah.
It's spicy, but I don't think it's rye spicy.
Well, I'm going to reserve judgment. I do see why you call yourself a Jack girl, though. That's fantastic.
So good.
Yeah.
Now, we've been out this hot afternoon playing some putt-putt golf in the heat. And so, what better way to cool off than come home and bust out the really high-proof whiskey.
A flight of barrel-proof whiskey. We do it for you.
Oh, man, that smells so good. Oh. Oh.
Might be the rye.
I don't know.
Might not.
I like that one better than this one. Are we?
So, do you want to do that? Do you want to rank them and then try to guess?
Sure, why not? I mean,
Okay.
We're doing a flight. Might as well rank
I'll play
them.
that game with you. And I agree. I think that one's just ahead of this one.
Oh, it is hot. So hot. I feel like I'm still in the heat.
I feel like we'll get through them, and then when we go back, it's just going to totally blow our palates out. But we'll see. I'm already getting that little numbness going.
It's just like living right here. It's like not cool enough. I'm starting to sweat. I got the whiskey sweats.
I feel like this first one gave me a touch of heartburn, but this one resolved it. So maybe it's like every other one.
Oh, I don't feel heartburn. I just feel hot.
All right. We forgot to cheers.
Oh, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to you.
I think that one moves to the front for me.
I want to say that one's a rye. That one's got some spiciness. There's a lot of pepper on that.
Honestly, I felt it was a little different than these two, but I'm going to wait until the end before I give my
I'm
final
trying
opinion.
to sway you, so if I get it wrong, you get it wrong too.
So you're going to sabotage me.
If I'm sinking the ship, I'm bringing us all down.
We're going down together. I see how it is.
Oh, that one smells so good. Oh, man.
I mean, does the smell-o-vision work on this thing? No? You guys getting that?
That one's more nutty. I feel like that one can't be the rye because it's so nutty.
I mean, it might just be as I acclimated through them, but I feel like they progressively got better as I drank them.
I feel like these two are the most similar to each other. And this one's very different, and this one's very different, and it's confusing.
Yeah. So our right to our left, I feel like they progressively got better, but as I said a minute ago, it could be that I acclimated. I've got a drink of water, fresh palate. I'm going to put them all back to baseline, and I'm going to go back the other way. And then we can A/B and see which one we pull out as the rye.
This is tough. And
I mean,
it's bizarre to me that I'm not able to pick out the rye off like instantly, like this is a rye.
yeah, so, I mean, I've had a lot of ryes that, you know, you couldn't convince me they were a rye because it was toasted or had some weird finish on it or something like that. But typically, untoasted, unfinished ryes taste like ryes to me.
Yeah.
And that's what this is. It's just straightforward barrel-proof rye. I believe it's the Red Label single barrel at barrel proof. It's amazing how much more flavor it gets at barrel proof.
But I remember tasting that one before, and we pour each other's stuff blind all the time, and mostly to trick each other, I think.
Yeah.
Like, we're like, well, what do you think it is? And we're wrong all the time because we purposely pick things that we think the other person won't guess.
Yeah.
And that one, we never guess is a rye. So it makes sense that we never guessed this would be a rye.
I mean, I've mistaken that Red Label single barrel rye as a malt plenty of times because it's very malty.
Yeah, but the mash bill,
There's yeah.
it's not like crazy malty.
No.
I don't even
It's like 70, 20, 10 or something like that.
like 70 rye, 20 corn, right? And then 10 barley. Is that what it is?
I believe so.
So it's not high it's not high malt. It's
No.
It's not barely legal rye. It's what you would expect, and I would expect it to have more of those like minty, herbal, even dill, whatever weird notes people pick up in ryes. But I don't get that. It's sweet. It's very similar profile. I think they must get a lot of their flavor from the yeast. I think people talk about mash bill all the time, but they don't talk about the yeast. And you know, they have their own yeast, which would mean that their products get their flavor from the yeast.
And it might be Brown-Forman in general has a specific yeast they use, because Brown-Forman across the board, you typically get that banana-ish note.
Yeah.
And a lot of people attribute that to the yeast.
Yeah. So I would think that it's their yeast must give a strong flavor, which is a strong flavor that I enjoy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, out of this whole lineup, first through fourth, there's not going to be a loser here.
Definitely not.
I would take any one of these at any time, you know.
I mean, I feel that way pretty much about any Jack Daniels.
Cheers again.
Cheers again. Maybe. I missed.
Weak sauce.
That one's delicious.
Yeah, it don't drink 130.
Well, the lowest proof's 129, and then I think we have, what, 2 135s and a 134, so none of these are like, they're warm, but
Yeah, but this one, it drinks...
I'd probably guess like 110.
Yeah, it's just... The balance is perfect in it.
It's sweet. It's a little musty. Is that a bad note?
No,
I don't mean it as a bad thing, but I would consider this musty.
Yeah, and I feel like that's a signature of Jack Daniels. It's got a little funkiness, mustiness to it. But I dig it. It's not making me mad at all.
I love it.
And so far, that guy's in the lead. That one might have just pulled a little ahead.
So we have one of these single barrel proofs, the Tennessee whiskey ones that we have. I honestly think is going to trick me, and I feel like that's this one. Because it's very different. It's a pick by ADHD Whiskey, and like his tasting notes were even like jalapeno pepper and black pepper and like real spicy, really off-profile flavors. And I kind of feel like that's got to be this one, but then it also makes me think rye, because you get a lot more spiciness on rye. But I'm just like overthinking this so much.
I'm just, honestly, at this point, I'm like, which one tastes the best of these four, and, trying to rank them. And then I'm going to pick out which one I think is the rye. I'm not thinking a whole lot about it at this point,
I'm
going
just
off
trying
of
to find a rye, and I'm not finding it, is the problem.
I mean, that's the whole point of this, right? Is it was so similar that we were like, wow, this could just be another gold label Tennessee whiskey.
Which, maybe that tells you don't have to hunt it.
I mean, eventually, I don't think it's going to be too much of a hunt. It's supposed to be like a shelf staple.
Well, but it's
just new right now.
So the gold label is a shelf staple, but it's not necessarily always easy to find. Like, I know there's plenty of places in the country that people say they struggle to find it. We have not had that problem, but that's, I think, because we always have it on the shelf. We don't have to like pick one up right away. So if it takes a while to find one, not a big deal, because we have 3 bottles of it.
Yeah, and I don't know how much that is an availability thing versus this store that we go to didn't order any. Because I've been to several stores when I was looking for the rye, and they're like, what are you looking for? I can order it. I can get anything I want from Jack Daniels. But it's usually like Olympia, and I don't want to drive an hour to pick it up.
Well, and lots of stores say that, and then they order it, and then they're like, $400, and you're like, oh, thanks for ordering it for me. I'm gonna pass.
and in the stores around Oregon, it's state controlled, so they get what the state gives them. And then the stores around here in our town, their bourbon section is like this wide, and that tall, because they're selling mostly Fireball and vodka.
Probably because that's all they're selling.
So,
Or that's all they have available.
They just don't have the space on the shelf to be buying a lot of different varieties. I don't think it's because it's not available. I think they just don't order it. And you've already drank 3?
Yeah.
I see how it is.
We were talking, you blab all day long, and I just sit here and drink it. Don't choke.
Nobody's commented yet that I talk too much.
Now they will.
Of course. Trust me, I've noticed it. I get chocolate on that one.
Our orders are very different. I am happy that we are doing our own flight this time.
I was just gonna say.
Because normally we're like doing the flight together, and and it's my flight, it's not yours. I never actually get your
That's
opinion.
right. She overrules me
I'm
in life and whiskey.
I'm the force. Well, I think I'm gonna do some A-B-ing because I went through.
You already drank 4?
Yeah.
Just drink 3.
I am going to enjoy these, and we'll come back with a ranking, and then we'll guess the rye. Okay, we are back. We have our order. We have
A buzz?
that too. We have the glass that we think is the rye, and we both choked on whiskey during that off time, and this is a high proof whiskey to be gargling with, let me tell you.
Yes, it is.
So we have drank a lot of water to cool the heat, and we went with separate glasses so that we could have our own opinions, and somehow we ended up with the same order. We switched them back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. We were sure we were having a different order. Turns out we came out with the same order.
We sure did.
I think we should guess which one we think is the rye first, or we can just say it out loud before we reveal the order. So
Count of 3. Oh, and never mind. You just grabbed it. This is the one I think is the
we
rye.
both think the same one's the rye. I also commented earlier that I think it could possibly be the bourbon or the Tennessee whiskey that's a pick because it's different, but I mean, we don't drink these enough to really know, but we'll just find out. So,
Yeah.
Third glass, but we both picked order of this 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 1st, just like it's lined up. So we can just reveal them as we go, and when we get to this one, hopefully it's the rye.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if it wasn't, honestly.
It wouldn't surprise me
And you all
either.
out there may be thinking, oh my God, how do they not know what the rye is? I encourage every one of you to do this exact same experiment if you have these bottles. Even if you have one single barrel proof Tennessee whiskey and the barrel proof rye, try them side by side. They're so similar. And their mash bills are like complete opposite. 170% corn, 170% rye. So
But, you know, something about them, it's not standing out. But let's see how we did. So, 4th place, I've got purple stickerel.
All right.
He poured them all, so I don't know what any of these colors mean.
I poured them. She mixed them up. So let me figure out which one is the purple. Nope. 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 It was the last one I grabbed. Okay, so this guy is the purple. It is a Tennessee whiskey coming in at 133.5.
Which surprises me because I thought it was the lowest proof one. And it's apparently not.
It's actually the one that's been open the longest and has the most out of it.
It drank the easiest.
So if you subscribe to that, it's been open and opened up and whatever.
Yeah, but I think people usually say it is better once it's been open for a while.
Yeah.
And we put it at 4th. So, pink.
Pink. Is that the pink?
Yep.
This is the off-profile ADHD whiskey Friday the 13th.
So maybe it's not off profile because
129.6. This is the lowest.
oh, okay. Maybe it's not as off profile as I thought because I definitely didn't pick that out as something different. Although we did talk about
That's on wheels.
we did talk about it possibly being this glass that was the rye.
Yeah.
But we both settled on this one. Okay, so next, please be the rye.
It is
Blue.
blue. Ooh.
Yes.
So that is the rye. 135.9 proof.
I mean, it definitely had a little bit more spiciness to it and a little bit the more I sipped it, the more kind of like grassy. I don't ever know how to express it, but
it was
it's got something a little different.
Yeah. The profile was just a little bit different than the others, but honestly, it's still so similar.
Yeah, it's very close.
And that means this guy here, I drink the most of it.
Green.
This is the Tennessee whiskey coming in at 132.4. And that's our winner.
I feel pretty good about that.
So yes, to answer our question, can you pick the rye?
We are not idiots.
Yay us.
That was a lot of pressure. I felt real nervous about that.
I was stressing that.
But anyway, it was fun filming this. I hope it's fun to watch.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And if you like this content, leave us a comment, consider subscribing, hit the thumbs up. It sure helps us out a lot, and we'd like to watch the channel grow.
And let us know if you have drank these pours next to each other, if you can tell the difference, or if you think they're similar, or we're just crazy.
Or all of the above.
It can be all of the above. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Cheers.
Cheers.
We'll see you again. I just want to remind you guys that I will be doing a giveaway once I hit 1,000 subscribers on my live stream. We will be giving away a Henry McKenna 10, an Eagle Rare, and a Blanton's. I just need you to subscribe, share my videos, leave comments, anything you can, and then join on the live stream once we hit 1,000 subscribers. Thank you for watching. Cheers.